All right, let's talk about Elijah Moore. It's Tyvis' favorite player.
Whoa.
Self-professed man crush.
Whoa, no. My favorite player is 21. Denzel. That's my favorite player on the Browns.
So,
your Buckeye brother.
Go Bucks.
So how do you plan on walking this back? This was in the meeting.
Or doubling down.
Yeah, or are you going to double down on
Quote, he's the most important receiver on this team. So explain.
This is tough.
So this is what I would say.
Because we all thought it was Amari Cooper.
All right, so listen. I'm glad that the camera's open. Okay. I'm not wrong. But listen, hold on. I'm not wrong. I might have not been 100% right, but I'm not 100% wrong. Ooh. Listen, he is very important. You know why he's important? His role just became better. He just became actually a tad bit more important. Why?
Okay.
Because he carries the football, and we have no running backs right now that can really figure it out like that. And his role in the backfield is going to become big time.
This cat.
Now, I will say that him and Deshaun Watson got some chemistry issues right now. We see it all in the OTAs and off seasons about these guys linking up. It has not manifested on the field yet. And I don't know what that is. But you need to figure it out because you're making me look bad right now. And I don't appreciate people that make me look bad. So I'm doubling down that by the end of this season, it's 14 games left. He still will be a really top wide offensive weapon for the Browns.
He's out here getting robbed by cat burglars.
They took it from him.
Maybe not the top.
He was they little boy.
They held him up.
They really.
It's a long way to go.
Thank you, boy.
They're still
Back
developing chemistry. That being said, the guy underwhelmed in New York.
Yeah.
He came here and everybody decided he was going to be a star here.
Right.
And right now he looks like the same inconsistent player that he was in New York.
He's a younger David Njoku at a different position.
Dang.
But to be fair to him, we have to give him more than 3 weeks.
Where am I wrong? Tell me where I'm wrong.
Well, David Njoku's been here 6 years.
I said younger.
Right. But
So he obviously doesn't have the years
What
that
the
Njoku
difference
has.
is-
But the Browns have been intoxicated by what Njoku could be.
Yeah.
What could he be?
Yeah.
So much so, they made him the third highest paid tight end in the NFL.
right, but
the fact-
Elijah Moore's not getting paid that amount of
Not
money.
yet. No, but
Yeah.
what I'm saying is that's why I said younger.
Yeah.
It's a few years from where Njoku is now. The Jets looked at him originally and said, this guy's can't miss. He's dripping with talent. And they finally gave up on him, and we got him, and we're like, what did we just get our hands on here?
In fairness,
and we haven't seen it
we
yet.
haven't seen it yet. He's probably on pace for 800 yards. I mean,
Wait, can we see his yards?
Steve, go back to season stats. Go up one.
he's
No.
over 100 yards, right? So
He has 128 yards in 3 games, which averages about 40 yards per game. So 40 times 17
It's 680.
is 680, give or take.
all right, so a little short.
Now I'm gonna say I'll
What
say
was
this.
you expecting them to have?
Hold on. Now
After you call him the most important wide receiver on the team, 1,000.
now
What is Amari's numbers on the year?
some of us
A lot more than
said
that.
some of us all off season said when they came up for Jerry Jeudy, yes. When it came up for DeAndre Hopkins, yes. To me, still, if you extrapolate over the long haul and you look at what the Browns have, you have DPJ, question mark. You have Elijah Moore, question mark.
Well, we said this.
And
We know that.
Njoku, question. Here's my
we
point.
said this.
Yeah.
We said this back then.
He
I said,
wanted to go with some proven production.
But I told you when I was like, I can see. I make the argument for both. I see why the Browns feel like they don't need to, but I also on the other side see why they do need it.
It's too small a sample size right now. The Browns' passing game was pretty much non-existent the first 2 weeks. It's not like Amari Cooper had big numbers until this past week. And we can't write off Elijah Moore.
No, I don't think-
He's not been impressive through 3 weeks, obviously.
Yeah.
But I'm not ready
Well,
to
we're not writing
off.
them. We're not writing
Yeah.
them off.
Way too early for that.
What we're saying is, if I'm looking at down the line, and I say the Browns got a lights out defense, the thing that you say is now you're gonna have to manufacture something in the running game. I don't think you're gonna just be able to hand it to one person and they're gonna get you what Nick Chubb got you. So now you're looking at it, if you're looking offensively, if you're a team, a top-notch team, you come in and you play the Browns, you say, well, okay, well, here's what we do. We take Amari Cooper out, and we're going to see which one of these other Jags is going to beat us.
Yeah.
And that's what it's
That should have been the game plan anyway.
Well, but they had two. You had going into the
They
season.
had 2 A-list weapons, is what you're trying to say, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that they could have gone out and
You had
tracked
two.
down.
You had 2 guys.
like D-Hop having a
Everybody,
great
all
season
their
either.
skill position guys are average or below,
Yes.
except for Amari Cooper.
Yes.
But they had 2. They had a superstar in Nick Chubb, and they had a very good wide receiver
Yes.
in Amari Cooper. Now you don't have that superstar. Now all you have in terms of what's better than average, at least proven, is Amari Cooper.
Well, let me ask you
That's
this.
it.
Tyvis, you can start. How can the Browns get more for more?
Well, I think now that we don't have a running game, you got to get involved.
I don't think we don't know that they don't have. a
Okay,
running
no,
game.
excuse
That's-
me.
that's
This is not
overstating.
Nick Chubb.
Yeah,
though.
right,
This
right.
is,
Now that there's
you don't
available
have
carries.
that. You don't have that fallback.
Sure thing,
Yeah,
yeah.
at
Yeah.
running back. So what do? You throw some bubbles and you throw some jailbreaks and get the ball in his hands, because right now him and Deshaun don't have their timing together on the routes. He's not running the routes crispy.
Does that surprise you? Because we heard how much they were working together.
Yeah, it does actually. It makes me upset actually, because again, I stood on the
He was at
fence.
practice.
Yeah, they look so good in practice, but I guess Allen Iverson is right. Anyways, I think just getting the ball in his hands, since they can't get the timing down on the routes, just get the ball in his hands. He is short, he is elusive, so get the ball in his hands and get him in space and allow him to make people miss.
Does it? So this is why nowadays, I don't know if this is a thing. It seems like there's a thing in the NFL where you go into bigger corners, right? You got bigger guys at 6'2". Sometimes I look at guys that are smaller in stature, like Elijah
They give you the
Moore.
worst problems.
Well, here's the thing. If you're not precise, he has a very small catching radius.
He does.
There's a couple plays in the first game or first few games where he had his hands and his feet was in there. It's like, 6 inches to the left. He would have got 2 feet down. He'd have been good.
Yeah.
But it just seems like he has a very low catching radius. So, if Deshaun Watson is not pinpoint accurate, he's not going to get the catch and runs. He's not going to be able to get his feet in
To your
bounds.
point, Amari helps Deshaun on some of his throws.
Yes, he does.
His throws that are just a little, and that's what you need a great receiver to
course.
do that.
Yeah.
You need his catch radius to be big. You need him to have great hands in spots where others might not catch the ball. It's early. Certainly not going to write him off. I don't know that it's worked in the run game. They've already tried a couple of jet sweeps and these double reverses. Teams aren't buying that in 2023. They're
I
just
don't
not.
know. You can't just give up on it. You got to
No,
try
you-
some things.
I like
You have to keep
the reverse
trying,
flea
but-
flicker screen to him. I like that. He got
And
10.
he had 4 guys out in front of him. I thought this could go for a long way.
Yeah, I thought
he had that
you
whole
try-
bubble out in front.
Who do you trust most as a pass catcher on the Browns besides Amari Cooper?
I don't know. I'd
Right
say
now,
DPJ.
you had to pick.
I'd say DPJ,
DPJ.
but he's kind of mid. Like he's not. He hasn't.
Well, they're all mid. That's the
yeah.
thing. I
So, but
mean-
if you're asking me who's the top of the
David
mid,
Bell.
We didn't even see him. We didn't even
Anthony
see
Schwartz.
They-
I got a crazy
they-
Did
stat for
anybody
you
even
guys.
put Anthony Schwartz on is he even on a practice squad?
I don't
No,
think
I don't
he
think
is.
so.
No, he's not.
I don't know that he's on a roster. I hadn't seen that
Well,
anybody.
he's definitely
picked
not
him
on a
up.
roster. I didn't know if he was on a
No,
practice
a
squad.
roster. I don't know
Yeah.
that anybody picked him up.
No, I don't
Which
think
is
so.
rare for a third-round
He
pick.
cleared waivers.
3 years later to clear
Yeah.
waivers after being cut. Nobody saw anything.
Yeah, well, nothing.
I got
ahead,
a
Mike.
crazy stat for you guys on Elijah Moore. This is from ESPN or NFL's Next Gen Stats newsletter. This came out this morning. Let me read this. Steve, you can take tagboard full. It's going to be small on tagboard, so listen to the words so you can see this as well. Elijah Moore took advantage of 8.0 average yards of cushion at the line of scrimmage, tied for 7th most, to average a league high 5.9 average yards of separation on Sunday. That said, Moore was almost exclusively targeted at or behind the line of scrimmage, averaging 0.9 average targeted air yards, which tied for the lowest. In fact, Moore only had a 3.85% of share of the Browns' air yards, lowest among all receivers. He did catch all 9 of his targets, only gained 43 yards. So I guess my question is everything in the Elijah Moore playbook right at the line of scrimmage? Is there a reason they're not actually sending him on routes deeper downfield?
G. Bush called it. G. Bush said they're just using him as an extended running game.
That's the West Coast game.
And that's what they're doing. They're using him as a wide receiver, a running back who's lining up on the line of scrimmage.
Extension in the running game. Quick little dump. If you can make a linebacker miss, there's your yards
But
after
he
that.
hasn't been able to do
Well,
that.
the thing of that
Yeah.
is, though, you know that the more he gets those kinds of touches, the more likelihood is he eventually breaks one.
I mean, we're not about to see her act like this man like 6'2" and got just long arms on. He's
No.
short, so you
I'm just
can't-
talking about he has supposed to be a breakaway game. Like he can be that guy. He can be an explosive guy.
Let me ask you,
Well,
Tyvis.
So it's almost like 9 carries for 43 yards.
If you was playing against, see, like if you playing, you still got this thing in your head, right? So if you a DB and you see him play, does he scare you? Because there's certain guys.
Clearly not. They're lining up 9 yards off the line of scrimmage on him.
If certain guys you come out there and play against, like, okay, he got the juice.
You saying would I be nervous?
No, would you be nervous?
No.
Oh, see, that's a problem.
No.
And Tyvis play safety.
No.
So that's safety on a receiver.
I get down there, press, step kick, and let's go ahead.
Right, let's do it.
Yeah.
Now, if I would have gave him, if I say now obviously it's different. If I say Jalen Waddle or Tyreek Hill,
I'm backing up.
He'd be like, yo, get somebody over here.
Let's get ready.
Now, granted,
I'm still step kicking, but let's get ready.
Like-
Let's get ready to get up out of there.
He just don't. I haven't seen that twitch.
Well, I haven't seen that burst, and I don't think he was like blazing. What was his 40? It could have been like 4.3.
It was a 4.3.
Yeah, it's very
What?
fast.
Shit.
I mean, he's
Elijah
he
Moore
ain't
came out of
he ain't
college.
playing 4.3.
Look,
I
I
tell
see
you
that.
that. It's a difference between running
And Tyvis,
4.3
that's what I'm saying.
and playing 4.3. He ain't playing
this
no
explosive
4.3.
guy that you just get the ball in his hands any way you can
Well,
and let the magic happen. And so
Hey.
far, small
Hey.
sample size,
Yeah.
we haven't seen it. It doesn't mean we
Maybe,
won't.
you know what? We're gonna see it this week. Start him on your fantasy lineups.
Yeah.
I started
He start him on your fantasy lineup. He's gonna have approximately 110 yards. No, 112, 8 catches.
Approximately 112.
Yeah, approximately 112, 8 catches, 1 touchdown.
Watch this.
Wow.
Did you, most important wide receiver in the Browns system, did you draft him in your fantasy league?
Yeah, in 3 of my leagues I do,
that's
except for
nonsense.
this one.
Yeah, I
This
got
is
him.
the only one you didn't
He
draft
took
him in.
him.
I took him on
He took
his
him
own
early.
no advice.